Happy evening to all of you. Welcome to today's CP meeting on ICAI's journey of ethical excellence. We have with us CA G RAJAN sir to take us through case-based session on ICAI Code of Ethics. May I now request SARC Vice Chairperson CA Bhawan and SARC Secretary CA ICAI sir to escort the speaker CA G RAJAN sir to the dais, please. The resource person wants to make it an interactive session. More than 178 delegates have registered for today's program, and the turn-up is very major. Please come and occupy. Please come and occupy the front rows. We will start today's proceedings with the invocation of ICAI motto song. Let us all rise for ICAI motto.
Yaesha sukteshu jagrati Yaesha sukteshu jagrati Kamam 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 kamamsho Purusho nirvimanaha nirvimanaha Adena shukram nada brahma nada brahma Adeva mritamucchate Tasmin lokaha shataha Sarve tadunatyavikaśjana yavikaśjana Etadvaita 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 etadvaita.
Thank you. Please be seated. This session speaker CA G RAJAN is a chartered accountant with additional professional qualifications in the field of information technology. He has about 37 years of professional experience in practice and teaching in India and abroad. He focused mainly in transfer pricing and Ind AS implementation as part of the professional practice across industrial verticals. A well-known faculty on the subject of Ind AS, IFRS and US GAAP. He has been a corporate trainer on these subjects to many public sector and private sector giants and consultant to foreign companies. He has a hands-on experience in handling disciplinary cases before the ICAI as well as before appellate authority. He trained in Oracle Financials, handled software migration projects abroad. He has also served as a co-opted member of the Investor Protection Committee of ICAI and a special invitee to the Accounting Standards Board of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. With this brief, I have a great pleasure in presenting before you CA G RAJAN sir to handle case-based session on ICAI Code of Ethics. May I now request ICAI sir to present him with a shawl. Requesting Vice Chairperson ICAI ma'am to present him with a memento as a token of our love and affection. Thank you, Geeta ma'am. Thank you, Arun sir. Over to G RAJAN sir to handle today's session.
Fine. The main idea is you have code of ethics which gives you what are the do's and don'ts. Many of us are in practice, but what happens is, in fact, this entire case study is what I have given. I have titled as silly mistakes and silly consequences. As auditors, sometimes we take it for granted, our clients are known, they are with us, 30, 40 years they are with us, nothing is going to happen. But in reality, if your time turns out quite bad, you will end up in severe consequences. So that is the cases, and all these cases represents practically what I have handled before disciplinary committee or the board of discipline or the appellate authority. I speak only from my experience, right? So any of you want to stop at any point of time, have your doubts clarified or you want to supplement, you are definitely welcome. Agreed, friends?
Yeah.
Right. Now let's move on to the first case study. In the year 2019, it should be visible to you?
Yeah.
Fine. Anyhow, I'll read it. 2019, you issued a certificate in Form 15CB in respect of a loan granted by your client to its US subsidiary. In the year 2021, the said subsidiary raised an invoice on your client for software supply equal to the value of the loan given and adjusted the loan given. Now the Indian company wants you to issue a certificate that the software imports were done and amounts paid so that it can take a term loan on reimbursement basis for the software imports. You also issued the certificate. Practically we all do this. Is there any consequences here? So the fact pattern is, you have a subsidiary in US, you have given a loan. That is in 2019. 2021, it so happened incidentally the subsidiary supplies the software to you. The value of it is equal to the loan amount. So they adjust. Because you have paid advance, they have adjusted against the invoice. Now, since it is a capital expenditure, your working capital is gone. So the Indian company wants to go to the bank and ask for a loan on a reimbursement basis, which we all come across. So they ask you a certificate that the software is imported, and you also issue a certificate. So is there any consequence or is it proper?
So at the time of remittance only we will.
No, remittance you have issued 15CB. That is a loan. 15CB or 15CA, what is the purpose? So 15CA is issued by the client. You issue a 15CB saying that is there a tax withholding obligations or not? So obviously, if you are extending a loan, there is no tax obligation on your part, so you would have extended a certificate. That transaction is over in 2019 itself. Now the company says, I have imported software to the extent of this value, kindly issue a certificate. So you also issue a certificate. So my question to you is the issuance of certificate is proper or is there any consequences? No, just because I pose a question, don't come back and tell me, sir, there is a consequence. Because CS students, exam வந்து 8 கால் பூசிக்கு எத்தனை கால் கேட்டேன்னு சொல்றேன். இதுல ஏதோ பொடி இருக்குன்னு 7 கால் எழுதுவோம் 9 கால் எழுதுவோம். 8ன்றது ஆன்சரே வராது. அந்த மாதிரி சரி சார் ஏதோ கேட்டிருக்காரு நிச்சயம் பொடி இருக்குன்னு நினைச்சு சொன்னாங்க. Is there any consequence or no? You will issue a certificate.
If there is adequate disclosure in the certificate, then
What disclosure you make, sir? You are asked to issue whether the software is imported or not,
We'll have to look
and
at,
it's paid or not. That's
we'll
what.
have to look at market price otherwise.
that is all transfer pricing.
We-
Transfer pricing will.
Transfer pricing will. That is not the objective of this question. The issue is, can you issue a certificate saying that this software is imported? This is a consideration paid. Yes.
Consideration not paid, no. Imported service subject to TDS, but then.
No, because you have already paid the consideration as a loan that was adjusted. You can mention the earlier loan that is given is adjusted. Nothing wrong in that. Is there anything?
See, if it's going to be a software
Imports.
you have to ensure that it is an import right through all the indirect taxes. Because if it's going to be goods, adequate customs duty have been paid or
Let's assume all these are compliant. For a moment, all these are compliant. Huh?
90 days remittance. The payment was already made in 2019.
That is a separate transaction. You gave us a loan. That loan was adjusted against the consideration what you need to pay. See, suppose you pay to somebody else. He supplies to you. Normally you adjust, no?
But that there is a regular supply.
So is there anything here?
It's a FEMA violation, right?
FEMA.
Exactly.
FEMA.
FEMA violation.
As well as
You, for example, you import from the same party, you also export to the same party. You can't set off unless you take a specific permission from RBI.
as well as it's 269T income tax also violation.
Sir, income tax other than transfer pricing is alien subject to me, so don't test me. Alright? So anything on 92 section is okay, fine. So what happens? First a FEMA violation. You can't offset unless the company, the importing company, took a permission from Reserve Bank of India saying that this is a loan earlier you have given, I want to adjust. Normally RBI does not permit you for simple reason. They want to monitor what is the forex inflow into the country and forex outflow out of the country. Now, if you simply adjust, that purpose is defeated. Right? Now, why this case study I put is, many of us while conducting an audit, simply what we do, there is an import and export to the same party. Or within the local also, you buy from the local company and also you sell to the local company. We simply adjust the balances. That is not a correct method. Please understand, unless you have an understanding with your supplier that whatever you supply and whatever he supplies can be adjusted on net basis, that should be an agreement. If you don't do, you are wrongly presenting the financial statements, both your liabilities as well as assets are understated. This can be, if your time is not good, this can be taken up as a case. Now, in this case, what has happened? The bank granted a loan. Due to some unfortunate circumstances, the company which took a loan could not repay the loan on time. So the bank filed a complaint, saying that audit has wrongly certified. So the only point was, rest others we are able to do. When the DC asked me a question, is it a violation of FEMA? I have no answers. Because once the complaint reaches, they don't confine them to only the issue that is concerned in the complaint, for the simple reason they are concerned about the misconduct of the members. Right?
Sir, one question here.
Yes, sir.
We are making a 15 CB. After that only the payment will happen.
No, 15 CB payment has happened in 2019 itself.
The thing is that we are giving a certificate saying that the software has been bought and software has been imported. That's all. And the payment, it may happen or may not happen.
Correct. In this case,
So what is the responsibility of the chartered account here? To
because
say that it has been understood?
what has happened here, since you are not going to pay for the software imported, that is adjusted, you are going to the bank saying that I have imported, I have paid money from my resources, please give me a reimbursement
That
loan.
is the part of the claim. But as far as the chartered account is concerned, my certification restricts these 15 CB.
Exactly, this is what the argument I took. But the simple DC was asking, tell me, it's a FEMA violation.
Yes, sir, FEMA violation is because of the client, not because of the chartered
No,
account.
you have issued a certificate saying that all formalities are completed for imports.
Sir, 15 CB, oh, okay, you said that one more certificate has been issued for that. Is it
Yes,
term loan,
yeah,
consumption of
for
term loan?
import of software you have issued a certificate.
Okay, that is not mentioned here, so that I'm just asking.
That is what I explained the case.
So it is not with 15 CB, it is with
It is not with 15 CB, please understand, it is with the import certificate. I said 15 CB is completed in 2019 itself.
So does that mean that import certificate should mention that the transaction has already been adjusted?
That is what. See, then only, see, you have paid the consideration for software import from your own sources. So you are asking for a reimbursement loan. See, normally in capital expenditure, what you do, you spend and you ask for a, this is what your capital contribution, we can say, I have spent on the project. This is my capital contribution. Similarly, they have done.
So if we are importing, we will be receiving the amount, and that's why for that.
Normally you take a bank loan and pay. Here you paid in advance, you are asking for a reimbursement loan, which banks normally give. Many times the capital expenditure, you say that spend in advance, kindly consider this as my contribution to the project, they will consider. This is what they have done. Right. Now, this again happens mainly in rural areas. We don't see that in what do you call in a metropolitan practice. But again, caution. So, as part of your practice, often some of the clients who are not comfortable in handling net banking or online transfer request your help in remitting statutory dues. Since ICAI regulations state that such money received on behalf of the client should be parked in a separate bank account, you opened a bank account in the name of your trusted employee and rendered the service of remitting and filing their TDS and other statutory returns. In some instances, you also received money in your wife's account for remittances. Initially, the clients, while transferring money to your employee, kept informing you. Later, they don't even send you intimation about the money transfers made to the employee. The employee also produced the receipts and challans for the payment of TDS, payments of TDS payments and TDS file returns. However, the billing for the services rendered were sent to the firm's name. Right? So I think in city we don't see this practice. In rural areas this is a major practice. Auditors, government departments also transfer money to auditor. Auditor remits, he gives them the account. And here we see old age clients who are about 80 plus, who are not comfortable in paying taxes, they transfer the money to the auditor, auditor remits the money. So institute, what it says, does the Institute Code of Ethics prohibits that? No. It says whatever money you receive from your clients will have to be parked in a separate bank account, and that money should be used only for the purpose for which it is remitted, and that should also be done within a reasonable time. This is what the Code of Ethics says. So is there anything wrong in this practice?
Separate bank account of the employee.
No, separate bank. See, I can receive the payments on behalf of my client in my firm's name, but only thing is I will have to keep this in a separate bank account. And
But it's not in the
firm's name.
It's just-
names of auditors or CA? Auditors or CA?
for all practical purpose, when I say auditors or CA, it means a chartered accountant. Let me clarify.
Audit service.
Huh?
What if you're not giving audit services?
Doesn't matter. Whether you give an audit service or not, it's not the issue here. The point is, so you receive this, you park it separately and remit, absolutely there are no issues, because Code of Ethics permits. Now in this case, what has happened, he has also received in his name, employee's name as well as wife's name, and all this information was given. Is it a good practice?
No, not.
Why, sir?
It's not allowed. ICAI rule is not
No,
allowed.
ICA doesn't know that you are receiving in your wife's name or your employee's name, unless you go back and tell them, no, this is not received in my name, it is my wife's name. Or the client goes and says auditor received in his wife's name or his employee's name. The only issue is if you receive in your name, you have to keep it in separate bank account. No, many of us don't keep it in separate bank account. That's the first mistake we do. Please keep that. And if you keep separately, now there is a third animal has come, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The institute has clarified that such acts will be out of the purview of money laundering. But still, if they come to know, you'll have to explain that this money is maintained in a separate bank account. Don't receive, yes sir.
Sir, sometimes we have to maintain separate bank account for firms to pay these taxes and everything, whatever is needed.
Separate bank accounts in firm's name or employee's name or partner's wife's name.
I am talking about only firm's name.
Firm's name, fine.
Firm's name. We are receiving sometimes to receive the fees we have a separate account. Only to pay the tax and other things we have a separate account. Sometimes the people is sending the money to the fees account. Even then we are transferred to that account. From there only we are paying later. So if there is any
No. If you
ambiguity.
incidentally, if the client sends wrongly to the fees account, and if you are immediately transferring to the other bank account, I think you can explain. No issues.
Sir,
Right.
it happens sometimes the other way also, sir. They remit you to the special account including our fees. It has happened in my case, sir.
No,
I
that is
don't
not-
maintain a separate account
Sir,
in
you
a
are
different
very-
bank.
That is
In
what
my
I'm
case.
saying, sir. So what happens is you can definitely
I
take a
agree
letter
to
from the
take it.
client saying that this money is wrongly transferred.
That
You
has
can
to be
replace.
immediate.
You can transfer it to fee account.
I am transferring it back to my.
Because otherwise what happens, the Code of Ethics says it should be used only for the purpose for which the money is remitted. So take a confirmation letter. See, why you may be wondering why this is a typical rural practice where government departments, school education departments, etc. send money to the auditors. In this case, what has happened? The employee whom the chartered accountant initially believed, for a few years he was genuine. Then thereafter he found it is quite lax. The client also did not remit, so he swindled not big amount. It's about 2.5 crores. Right?
This has happened in one of my friends.
So client, what has happened? He went and complained to the institute. That is, leave alone the institute. Since he has received money in his wife's name, he went and complained to the police against the wife also. Look at the consequence. Now ultimately we have to rush to his support, saying that whatever he has received in his firm's name and his wife's name, that is all remitted properly. The challans were genuine, so they got out of the mess. But the issue was, when as far as the employee is concerned, he is not able to wriggle out because the fee for the service is rendered from his firm's name.
Yes, that's it.
He is not able to say that I have not done the service. So, if at all you are receiving in some employee's name, I would suggest that desist.
Is it not better to
If-
get the amount from the client and bill it as a reimbursement bill?
GST.
GST is not.
If you say 2 lakhs received, reimbursement, 2 lakhs paid taxes on behalf of reimbursement, 18% GST will apply on that reimbursement. Are
We
you
can
with
have a
me?
separate bill of reimbursement.
No way, GST still will get attracted. It's a risk.
It is better to pay their any desk.
Better?
No, any desk. Take it.
No, sir. Any desk also, you can't leave having access to a bank account over any desk is quite risky.
No.
No, they are
The
not
moment
there.
you log on, you log off from your any desk, let them pay.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
That is what I'm saying, sir. You go to their account, log in, do all the remittance work, and the moment it goes to their bank side, you log off. From your, then after paying, you can go.
There is no record of this.
Sir, in cyber crime, nothing is, you don't know. Even somebody may recording our conversation, what we are having here.
It's right.
It's live, sir.
Sir, it is already recorded.
That's what I'm saying. A small crime. Right. So, the point is these are practical cases. This happened to, as he said, one of his friends, it has happened.
Yes, it has happened.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Employee ran away with the money.
And the beauty was when the employee was arrested, you know what he said? Sir, என்கிட்ட பணம் கிடையாது, நீங்க என்ன வேணா பண்ணிக்கோ சார்.
No, my friend actually he paid the money out of his pocket.
That is what I
He's
said.
an elderly gentleman, 75 years old, chartered accountant.
If you look at,
Because
see,
he-
all
because-
these years he might have carried his practice with dignity.
Because he doesn't know how to use the online bank account, he had to
Depend on his employees. No, this case, what I have handled is with younger child account. He's around, should be around 60 years. Employee now says, sir, என்னை எத்தனை வருஷம் வேணா ஜெயில போட்டுக்கோங்க police கிட்ட. No, he's fighting. And see, fortunately, whatever the fight that's happened, we are able to extricate his wife from the case. Prove that whatever it's one-off transactions, he has remitted, there's nothing hanky back. And what has happened, I'll tell you, the extension is, in a rural case, where an auditor built a government company, government department, the department did not pay. So when the remittance came, he adjusted his fees and remitted back the balance money. Now saying that I will not do this work, I have taken my fees. Promptly that government department filed a complaint to the institute saying that money was given to him for payment of taxes, he has adjusted against his fees. We think we are very smart, but the government department much more smarter than us. Right? Right. Read and comply with a partnership deed. Many of us do tax audits. Right? We always think partnership is easy, etc. So your client is a partnership firm. The deed also provided for salary and interest to the partners. During 31st March 22, due to some dispute between the partners, one of the partners did not carry out his assigned responsibilities. The disputing partner also accepted that he did not attend to the business of the firm. The other partners passed a resolution stating that he need not be paid remuneration for 31st March 22, but he can be paid interest. You are the tax auditor of the firm for 31st March 22. What you will do? Whatever is the deed. Now the other partner has clearly accepted that he did not attend to the business of the firm.
Change the deed.
So my friend says she will only go by the deed. So other partners, rest of them pass a resolution saying that, and it is also evidence. He has sent a mail stating that I am not attending to the business of the firm, but interest was paid. Because there is a capital balance is there, that is nothing to do with the work done by the partner. So interest was paid. Only thing, since he has admitted that he is not attending to the business of the firm, remuneration was not paid. Other partners pass a resolution. So my friend still says that I will not consider this resolution. I will only go by, what do you call, partnership deed. Any other view?
Remuneration not allowed since they are not working partner.
Which one?
Since they are not working partner, remuneration not allowed. Just
So interest, that is what they have done. So other viewers, since he is not a working partner, non-payment of remuneration is acceptable.
Resolution passed by single member is not.
Which one?
Resolution passed by single member is not.
Not single. Other 9 partners have done. There is 10 partnership, 10 firms partnership form. Other 9 partners pass a resolution saying that since the 10th partner did not accept, he did not pay. So what do? You are the tax auditor. Now you have to take a call. So there are 2 schools of thought. One says not a working partner as per admission, even though the deed says he or she is a working partner. The other view is I will only go with the deed. What you can do?
I think in 2 different documents, all the partners are involved. One, the erring partner has already admitted that he is not a working partner. The other partners have passed a resolution. So, which means it is as good as an agreement among all the 10 partners.
So, what is your view finally? Are you siding with her or with
No,
him?
sir. I am not siding with her, sir. I think they are.
So you are siding with him.
10 people
Right.
override the.
Now, any other view? Deed. So, the all is divided now.
Other documents are not registered.
Other document is not registered. See the argument that's coming in. Right.
No, I think registration is not doesn't add any much value to.
This case reached the DC. Right? Because of family, please understand, there are about 8 brothers. One brother passed away. His wife was admitted to the partnership. Due to some disputes between them, she did not attend to the business. She has communicated clearly by the mail saying that I am not attending. So the other 7 brothers passed a resolution saying that she did not be paid a remuneration. So promptly auditor also signed. Tax audit was filed. She filed a complaint with the institute saying that as per deed I am eligible for a remuneration. Auditor did not provide. I took an argument saying that auditor did not provide. This for the management to provide. It is not my duty to provide a remuneration. Right? But he did not cut ties with. Because they said as per deed is sacrosanct. It is signed by all the partners. Just because she has said that she has not attended, it did not mean that for there she is not a working partner. That's a separate issue as per income tax department is concerned. Your deed provided for remuneration. The allowability is for income tax is based on whether she is a working partner or he is a working partner. That's a separate issue.
Sir, is the tax audit not bound by income tax act?
Fine, at least he should have said that this is a dispute I am not providing. See, what the institute says, the idea of what I am saying is, many of us while conducting tax audits, we take some positions. We don't disclose on what basis we take that position. That is what I am saying. Absolutely, if you are not providing for remuneration, somewhere you should have mentioned stating that this is a dispute, not provided, you would have escaped. So you see what I am saying is when you are in doubt, make a disclosure stating this is a portion I have not provided. Then the auditor would have escaped. So instead, when I took a position saying that, nothing is changed. Because ultimately the partner's capital balance remains the same. Whether you credit to 1 lakh debited to P&L, the net reserve balance or capital balance, the total capital will be the same. All this did not cut ties with the DC.
The main thing is that income tax act goes only by the statutory. So
You know, what they
that's
said
what
is,
we have to
as per
understand.
deed, this should be, see, allowability, not allowability, it's for income tax to decide. Deed provided for a remuneration and she is called a working partner. There is no dispute as far as the deed is concerned. Just because she said I am not attending to the business, other partners cannot pass a resolution without her concurrence.
Second thing is if one of the partner has died, the
Reconstitution and all is taken place. See, in this case it's straight. The actual facts of reconstitution was properly took place.
Addendum instead of resolution.
Whatever addendum or they draw new deed, etc. Let us assume that everything is proper. But the only issue was, the key issue here is, have you have to go with the partnership deed or not?
Partnership deed was signed by that lady, which
She's-
was not signed by the resolution. She did not sign on the resolution because that was.
No, yeah, partnership deed she has signed. As per deed, she is eligible for a remuneration. That's all. So my argument is saying that totality of figures, numbers, nothing did not get ties.
There is only 2 partners in the firm. If one partner doesn't sign the financials because of this issue.
If the partnership deed provides that both the partners will have to sign, auditor signing only with one partner signature, you will be in trouble. We know cases where both the partners fought, where it was in arbitration, when the arbitrator said, please get the accounts prepared by somebody, one of the partners prepared the accounts, auditor signed. Now the other partner went to the set, deed provides for both the partners to sign. Then we have to saying that it's an arbitration, a directive come from one of the authorities. You cannot question. Otherwise, the entire thing will fail. If that direction of arbitrator is not heard, complied, then the entire arbitration process fails. It cannot become votais.
Now, if it is the 31st December and if they have to file the income tax, what will
Sir, it is for them to sort out, sir. We go to the extra mile of ஐயோ கேரி ஃபார்வர்ட் லாஸ் போயிடுமே இது போயிடுமே எதையா பண்ணி நம்ம மாட்டிக்கிறோம் அந்த எமோஷனல் கிரவுண்டுக்கு போகாதீங்கன்னு தான் சொல்றேன்.
What will be the case? How will we handle it? We say that there is no other go unless they...
There is no other go. If you sign, the other partner will go. He has sided with the first partner. Or if signed the other partner, see, anyhow, both of them will fight, you are in trouble. Either of them will sue you. Why do you want to take such a chance? Go by what is the partnership deed provides. We have seen cases, that's what I am saying. Even where the arbitration provides a direction for the firm to prepare accounts where there are only two partners, we have seen cases.
Whether such disclosures will work here?
Which one?
Yes.
See, that is what happens. We all tend to think that no trouble will happen.
No, for this case, I can give an hypothetical example.
We can definitely state that it's on the directions of arbitration I have signed. To finish off the arbitration process, this account is prepared, nothing is audited. Some disclosure you can make, you do. See, what happens, we may not think the consequences. That's a problem. See, as long as your time is good, nothing will happen. If your time is bad, your wife will turn against you. I will show you the cases. I will show you the cases. Right?
These two partner cases actually I have come across myself, sir, where the chartered accountant signed the balance sheet where without some wrong entries which were against one of the partners, warring partners, and the warring partner filed a complaint with the CA Institute. I represented the plaintiff. I had to represent it against other chartered accountant, and the chartered accountant was admonished. And
no, that is what I am saying. See, previously there was in disciplinary proceedings, it was called earlier warning. Warning means you are not found guilty. You can just, okay, please mend yourself. Now that warning system is gone. It is now called the reprimand. Reprimand means you are found guilty, you are punished. So what happens when you go for application with CAG or bank, the first question they ask you, have you ever been punished by disciplinary cases? You have to say yes here. Whereas in the earlier case when you are warned, you did not say I am punished. And again I am clarifying, if you are facing any issue from the disciplinary proceedings, in the empanelment one standard question is, sir, I have issued a notice from Director Discipline. Shall I have to mention that a case is pending? The answer is no. Even if the Director Discipline holds you prima facie guilty, the answer is no. Because it is only prima facie guilty. So unless the hearing starts in DC, there is no proceeding pending. Okay? So you need not report saying that, no, there is a proceeding. Right. Omissions in complaints with Schedule 3, current year rounding off, disclosure of trade payable. How many of you round the balance sheets? Most of you. I have seen balance sheets for even 23 with Naya Paisa.
I have seen balance sheets which are not in Schedule 3 at all, sir. Signed by a chartered accountant. For a private loan company doing a turnover of 58 crores.
That's
in horizontal format.
Eh?
Horizontal format.
Our ಇನ್ನೂ ಶುಕ್ಲಾ ಗ್ರೇವಲ್ ದೇಶ Sir, Arul Gupta is the format has
I got really shocked when I saw this.
You can't defend him. Please understand. If ROC sees, they will simply file a notice, slap a penalty on it. So Schedule 3 formats, trade payable. How many of you disclose the trade payables bifurcating into MSME, non-MSME on the face of the balance sheet? Many of us say schedule. Schedule will give the same information, but that is not the correct format. Because ROC is today completely automated. They compare the information with current year with previous year disclosures. Some wrong notion in notice is sent, and you would have received for a small private limited company a fee of 10,000 rupees, the penalty will be 25,000 rupees from audits, minimum. So trade payable, please on the face of it. Similarly, basic EPS and diluted EPS on the face of the P&L. There is no point in giving that information in notes. The format is sacrosanct, please follow. Right? Tax audit. Notes on accounts not found many of the tax audit financial statement in respect of non-corporates as per ICAI. As per ICAI is applicable, AS is applicable to a financial statement whereas an audit is mandated. For example, tax audit, 10B, audit report, etc. How many of you issue or sign tax audit which financials have notes on accounts? You can be honest, I am not DC. Most of us don't do. You do. Good.
We get the copy, but we don't file it because, like, that's audit report, there is no space to.
No, wait, see, while filing, I think the department website says, please enclose P&L, please enclose balance sheet, that's enough. Even
Their own is that.
you don't bother. But have you obtained the financial statement prepared by the clients with notes and accounts? Many in the rural side, they are not even aware. Trust is similarly, we assume that only for tax audit there is a business, so notes on accounts is necessary, or basis of preparation is necessary. Even for a trust, I think 10B or what is the form, I don't know. 10B. Whatever it is. Whenever there is an audit mandated, ICAI says, as far as non-corporates is concerned, the moment an audit is mandated, complying with accounting standards prescribed by institute is mandatory. It is not what do you call recommendatory, mandatory. So you have to, notes on accounts should disclose. In a trust, what has happened? When a fight broke out between the trustees, on all other issues, I was able to defend the chartered accountant. The only issue was, finally they came, where is the notes on accounts? Because notes on accounts, management should prepare, they should sign, then the auditor will have to sign. It did not happen. So when we said that we have prepared, the accounts were signed and given back to them, they have not circulated, etc. Nothing cut ties with DC. They said there is no notes on accounts.
The first standard is applicable only for commercial audit.
Sir, any audit, it is not commercial audit. The audit is definitely mandatory. The moment you say there is an audit, 10B is an audit, because you express an opinion on the financial statement.
For compliance with accounting statement.
100% notes on accounts is mandatory.
Notes on accounts. Compliance with accounting statement.
Account, the note, that is what I mean, accounting policies, whether it's prepared on a cash basis, how the fixed assets are accounted, everything will have disclose. Some 4 or 5 standards, sir, you can disclose.
Yes.
Because I'm saying in the trust, similarly when the fight broke out between the trustees, we are not able to demonstrate before the DC saying that there are notes on accounts with the accounting policy disclosure is available. They asked us, please, if you have produced. It was not countersigned by other party. And again, many of the mistakes what we make is, we sign the financial statement before the client signs. And today, you don't physically file this concept of SD, signed. That is again inviting trouble. I would only urge my professional friends that in order to save the client, don't put your neck into the chopping block. Let them sign first, then you sign. Otherwise, I've seen cases where, few more examples, you will see how the fight is taken.
In one of the cases, the ROC rejected the AOC force, saying that you have put SD. Refile it. By the time the date was over, huge penalties came.
That's what I'm saying. So you will not be able to demonstrate saying that I have signed only after the client has signed. So better to have a physical copy signed by the client. Whether you upload or you upload with income tax department SD, that's a point for you to do. Right? In stock audit, the scope of appointment and audit report format are different. But instead of reporting as not reportable, it is reported as yes or no in many instances. For example, fund diversion. Please, you know who is the biggest complaint before the institute today? Banks and central board, CBI. These two are the biggest complaint before the institute. Banks, they don't want to do their job. Let me be very plain. Even if there is a banker here, I don't mind spelling out, right? What they do is, if the recovery is not there, account turns NPA or it turns bad, the easy scapegoat is concurrent auditor. File a complaint against him and they say that he has not monitored, etc. Or stock auditor, right? So in stock audit today, if you look at it, unfortunately the format of stock audit report, the appointment does not talk of fund diversion. Appointment only says physically check the stock, paid stocks, compute, etc. Appointment letter says. But when you go and upload your report, that's all the screen-based reporting nowadays. One of the questions is whether there is a fund diversion or not, which is not in your appointment letter at all. You go and simply say yes or no, because we want to finish the work. When the account fails, promptly a complaint is made. Stock auditors has reported there is no fund diversion. In reality, there is a fund diversion. So I would only say that in concurrent audit, please understand. Now today I believe that every system is integrated. Previously, when you operate even the CBS core banking module, the Forex module was kept separately. That is the precise reason why Punjab National Bank faced a lot of issues. Many of the concurrent auditors were not even aware that core banking does not or not properly connected with Forex modules. So whenever they go to asking for a Forex model access, they were repeatedly told, sir, we are busy with processing the reports or doing some work, you come sometime later. So what has happened in a case where the Forex module was not given an access, the officer in collusion with the client, he recycled the bills. First bill was discounted, after some time it was reversed as paid, the same bill was again discounted. The invoice is not same, but bill discounting was different. When the money did not come, bank finally found out that this is a fraud took place between the employees and the officer, collusion, borrower and officer, promptly filed a complaint against the statutory auditor, the concurrent auditor. So when I was defending the concurrent auditor saying that I was not given an access to the Forex model regularly, the prompt question came from DC. Have you ever highlighted this in your report, that you are not given access to Forex model properly? Then I took a different thing saying that my primary objective is not to find frauds. Your essay says that I don't start an audit with finding frauds. It is for bank internal to find out frauds, etc. So I cannot be held responsible. That's the argument I took, but it did not cut. What they are saying is, I fully agree that they have not provided access to your Forex models. But where is your highlighting whatever difficulties? Similarly, in a stock audit, when the scope says, it doesn't even talk of fund diversion. But in the report format, it talks about fund diversion. You also tick yes or no, because unless you feel something, it will not allow you to submit. That's how the reporting is evolved. Then at least write back saying that this clause I have reported yes or no does not come within my scope of appointment given. I am forced to report this. I am unable to report on this point. At least clarify and take an acknowledgement. Keep it in your report. Because this is what I have seen. Most of the stock audit frauds in Madras, wherever CBI has filed a complaint, the grouse was auditor did not report on fund diversion. When I said this is not within the scope, the DC promptly said, no, tell me where your report yes or no. This is not my report. So please clarify when there is a restricted scope or you are not provided access or you are compelled to report which is not within your scope, please clarify. Yes, sir.
So what is the limitation if there's a violation?
Absolutely. If the bank management wants to pass on the buck or blame on somebody, scapegoat is a concurrent auditor or the stock auditor.
No, the limitation to period.
Limitation period, see for example, as far as SA 230 is concerned or SQC 1, an auditor is liable to maintain working papers for a period of 7 years from the date of his signing.
No, violation of code of ethics. If someone files a complaint against a member, even if it's after.
So that is what I am saying. 7 years is a period. If there is a case within the 7 years, you cannot destroy the documents after the end of 7 years. You have to wait till the case is completed. Otherwise, you can say that my time is over, 7 years up, I have destroyed. I have argued many cases saying that 7 years time is up, you have come at the wrong time. I am not in a position to defend myself. I have won. At the primary stage itself, it will get dropped. But on the other hand, Schedule 3 not followed, trade payable not followed. You have not properly disclosed. If they want to take an action on 10th year, you cannot escape saying that there is no need for a working paper. Your crime or your guilt is established on the face of the balance sheet. So not everywhere you will be able to take that argument. Criminal cases, there is no limitation, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
See, you cannot say that I have murdered somebody about 20 years back, no time bomb.
That's what I'm saying. So civil cases should have.
So that is what I am saying. Wherever working paper is reliable, 7 years argument you can take. Where your crime is on the face available, for example, EPS not disclosed on the face of P&L. You cannot say that I don't have a working paper.
It's available that I was MCS it is available.
That is what I am saying, sir. You have signed. No need for, that's a disclosure. No need for a working paper. You can't take shelter in 7 years period.
But
Right.
why will they take it up after 7 years?
Which one?
Like if there's a long disclosure,
Ah.
why is somebody going to take it up after 7
You know what is the case I have handled about 4 years back in 2018? The case started running from 1997 onwards. Yes, sir. It's a very huge case alleging a fraud of 900 crores in a company, siphoning off. So, simply they filed a complaint. See, unfortunately today what has happened in DC proceedings, just I'll finish up this and I'll take your DC proceedings is, if a complaint is filed today, the director discipline cannot sit on a judgment whether this is prima facie a valid complaint or not. He has to act on the complaint. Now the new disciplinary mechanism has provided such a power to director discipline now, he can examine whether the complaint is valid or not. But that is yet to be implemented. So today what happened, the moment they receive a complaint, they will see who has received the complaint. Just forward, let him reply. So in 1997 when the complaint was filed, I took up stance that it's purely audit work. From 1997 you cannot take. There are 2-3 auditors involved. So one auditor went to the court and got a stay over his proceedings. The other auditor, two partners were there. So one partner passed away. I said he has passed away. To conduct the proceedings elsewhere, not here. Right? Finally again, one partner was caught. I said 7 years time up. They agreed. Then one year was within 7 years out of this entire process claims. They said you give me working papers. I said 900 crores fraud is alleged. CBI has taken my working papers. I don't have working papers. Give me time till CBI releases the paper. But Institute did not agree. They held the chartered accountant friend as guilty, but he went to the court and obtained the stay. Yes, sir.
So what does the TC expect? You should have 2 sets of working papers.
No, in this, no. That is, they said, we even demonstrated saying that we took a Xerox. Unfortunately, 2015 floods, everything washed out. Because he was residing in the Adar Banks, his house was there. Genuinely, his house was there.
House was there.
He still resides there. Yes, sir.
But that is Swift education. In Swift only, it's like an email for us.
See, I'm not getting it. I'm only saying forex means immediately you will recall PNB. That's why I said PNB. The case I discussed was not PNB. The point is even PNB. I will tell you how RBI could have easily found out. The fraud happened between Indian banks sitting in India, issuing LCs or thing on the branches of foreign branches of Indian bank. It is not I issue sitting in State Bank of India, Nundumba branch issuing an LC on Stan Chart Bank, Hong Kong. It is a State Bank of India, Hong Kong branch. What RBI could have easily done is, what has happened when SWIFT issued a SWIFT code for $1 lakh, it was modified for $1 million or $10 million. That's how the fraud has taken place. So RBI could have asked you, you file a return saying that what are the LCs you have issued or bill of whatever documents you have issued, favor of Indian companies of bank. Similarly, the other bank also requested, other branch also requested to file. You could have written and got the entire information.
But in that case, the nostril won't tally. They have to be
See,
mirror
NASTA is your collection account, VASTA is what you pay. So NASTA is nothing but the Indian bank accounts maintained with a foreign bank. That is only when you collect, it will go to NASTA, the VASTA account.
So is
No.
it not like whether you have issued LC for the same? And some officer in the PNB saying, yes, I have issued.
That is what I am saying, sir. What has gone as 1 lakh LC was modified fraudulently to 1 million LC.
By a junior officer sitting.
Who? I don't know whomsoever has done. The simple what he could have done, they could have recorded this 1 lakh LC received from 1 million LC from Indian branch. If that branch sitting in foreign files a return of some document with RBI saying that this is what I have received, I also filed saying this is what I have issued. This fraud would have easily been thrown out.
Sir, in that case, whether auditor is their responsibility.
I am not aware of the full facts. Right? To sit down as what you call judgment whether auditor is a party or collusion, he missed out. I am not involved. Yes, sir. But sir, of the banks, I think Ghosh Jilani is still not following, I guess. Only some banks follow. That is what I am saying, sir. Ghosh Jilani, எப்ப நம்ம fill பண்ணோம்னு சொன்ன பேங்க் ஆடிட்ல ஒரு 5:50க்கு நம்ம கிளம்பணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா 5 மணிக்கு கோஷ் ஜிலானி ஞாபகம் வரும். எடுத்த ஸ்கிரீன்ல டக்குட்ட போன வருஷம் என்ன இருக்கு அப்படியே அடி.
அது எல்லாம் எஸ் வரும். ஒரே ஒன்று மட்டும் நோ வரும்.
பாத்தீங்களா? நம்ம விட்ட அவசரத்துல வந்து கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஸ்கிரீன்லயே கூட டிக்கெட் வச்சிருவோம் சார். So, but பாதி பேங்க்ல அது கிடையாது. I don't know. I have stopped doing audits. I don't know whether Ghosh Jilani still survives. Every bank is having, is it?
இப்போ எல்லா பேங்க்கும் இருக்கு சார்.
அப்படியா?
ஆல் பேங்க்ஸ்.
தெரியாது சார். ஸோ இந்த சபதம் வரக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் நான் வந்து எம்பெனல் கூட பண்றது கிடையாது. ரைட், கோஷ் ஜிலானில எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் லாஸ்ட் தான் 5:30 மணிக்கு இப்போ கையெழுத்து போட்டு கிளம்ப போகிறோம், 6 மணிக்கு ட்ரெயின் இல்லை ஃப்ளைட்டுக்கு ஏர்போர்ட்டுக்கு போகணும்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. அப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் அப்ரண்டிஸ் டிக்கெட்ஸ் இருப்பாங்க. அது என்னன்னே தெரியாம அவன் பாட்டுக்கு ஸ்க்ரீன்ல நம்ம என்ன சொல்லிருப்போம், போன வருஷம் என்ன இருக்கோ அப்படியே அடி, அது ஏதாவது டிஃபரன்ஸ் தான் இங்கே வா. சார், தட் இஸ் வாட் ஐ எம் சேயிங் சார். இப்போ வந்து நிறைய கொஞ்சம் தி ஆடிட் ப்ரொஃபஷன் இஸ் புட் டு a lot of test. Right. Seven, net worth certificate issued without proper verification. For example, after a purchase, immediately revalued a higher amount by a valuer, and CA issued a certificate based on the valuation report of a certified valuer. This has happened in the case. Somewhere in rural Andhra, which is abetting what you call a developed project, a company purchased land worth 10 lakhs. It was purchased today. Next day morning, there was a report came in that there is going to be a 6-lane highway that's going to be developed along this village, etc. Some news item appeared. So the company got hold of a valuer who certified the value of land tomorrow at 1 crore. On the basis of that 1 crore, the auditor certified the net worth of the company at 1 crore. He got a loan and vanished. And bank promptly filed a complaint with CBI. CBI in turn filed a complaint with DC. Next day, how can 10 lakhs document to 1 crore? The auditor took a view, sir. One of the auditing standards says I can rely on expert. That expert is not related to the company. He is qualified. Nothing ties with the DC.
But the engine is created.
Huh? Sir, all this done, sir, he has valued with the money. If you go and realize the MODT, the value is not 1 crore. So the bank says, based on CS certificate, I will release 1 crore.
Well, in this I different views, sir. We can take a stand that the registered valuer has.
Pure, that is what the stance I took. I said that what your auditing standard says, there has to be a valuer, has to be properly qualified.
I don't know about
You should not have any relationship with the company. You should not be the what you call
Director.
father-in-law or mother-in-law or whatever of the directors or the promoters of the company. All this I tried to say. Simple argument. let him give. But don't you have sense to think that today what is registered for 10 lakhs, tomorrow 1 lakh? Huh? Next day, sir.
So the banker doesn't have.
I try to defend saying that there is highway project. It was not announced yesterday. Next day it was announced. Nothing but I.
Banker need not have that sense, sir.
The bank
Sir, that is what I am saying, sir. This 900 crores fraud, what I told you, no? I told the DC, all these bankers are coming and making a complaint to you saying that chartered accountants are custodians of the money. Unfortunately, they are the primary custodians of their money, not me. I told them, let them produce documents in a span of about 5-6 years. From 50 crores, advances have gone to 900 crores. Let them produce all the documents, minutes, whatever they have approved, how they have sanctioned these amounts, what appraisal they have done. They did not come. But if you are held against this, all this will be an higher forum, will be a very, very good case for you to argue. But unfortunately, what happens, sir? It is a subset of civil procedure code. So it takes its own time. You will feel very tired if you are even appearing against the appellate authority. Even the smallest of the cases, it takes about 3 years. One adjournment, like income tax, we go file a letter saying that, sir, please adjourn, they will grant. But here, it has to be an affidavit. You have to file sufficiently in advance. All these are I am not blaming the judges. The subsect code is like that. You are subsect of civil procedure code. By the time you appear and argue all these cases, it sucks your energy. Yes, sir. This is again, whomsoever, I will come back. Very dangerous. Any certificate, please don't issue. It is banned. See, any certificate you issue, please mention to whom it is addressed and what is the purpose of the certificate. If you don't mention to whom it is issued or the purpose of the certificate, tomorrow if hanky-panky something happens, you are in trouble. I'll tell you, see, there is a company somewhere in Andhra. They took a project loan to develop a paper mill. It's about, total cost of the project was about 6.5 crores, right? So the company spent from its pocket some 70-80 lakhs. So it wanted the auditor to certify that they have spent from their capital, share capital, whatever they have bought in the share application money and share capital was spent on the project. So this auditor was an youngster, issued a certificate saying that some 80 lakhs was spent. And he did not say to whomsoever, or he did not, but what has happened? He was not the auditor of the company. The auditor of the company was some other person. And over a period of when the company availed the loans, he has issued specifically addressing certificate to the banker saying that this certificate issued for your purpose, this is the expenditure company has done, this is what the expenditure have been done, all this went. He did not repay that 6.5 crores, whatever it is. So bank promptly filed a complaint with CBI. CBI in turn filed a complaint with the institute, dragging all the 3 auditors. So this auditor was quite young fellow, but quite knowledgeable. So he said that prima facie I never had a suspicion. All these backed up by whatever certificates I have given, backed up by evidences. I have collected the evidence. He gave all the proof to the DC. So the director discipline helped him and as well as other 2 chartered accountants not guilty. Finally, what has happened? The board of discipline will have to receive this recommendation of director. They will have to approve. Unfortunately, what has happened? The 2 other chartered accountants who issued at least each of them 5 certificates for this company, their not guilty was accepted by the board. This gentleman who issued only 1 certificate, case was taken up for further scrutiny and he was held guilty. Then finally I have to go to the appellate authority and say that, look, other 2 fellows who have issued 6 certificates specifically for this purpose, they have exonerated. And I have issued only 1 certificate which is based on evidences. I have produced all the documents and they are holding me guilty. The appellate authority said you are also not guilty. But right from the process, from the first stage to the 6th stage, it took about 6 years. And mind you, what is the fees he received? 5,000 rupees. So when you issue a certificate, please, and if you are not the auditor of the company, don't ever certify. And you receive a call from your company secretary friend saying that I am going out, why don't you issue a certificate? Because DC is asking all these questions. Are you the auditor? Why there is an urgency for you to sign? You are not even cautious enough, putting your membership number in risk. That's what the question they ask. They are right. Why don't you take adequate precaution? That's a question that comes in. Right? So if you are not the auditor, one-time certifications, I would say that definitely please avoid. And you are not going to be paid some crores of rupees as fee. Probably 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees is the fee you receive. And you put yourself in chopping block and CBI will be after you in the office. Right? So that's what the 8th question is. While certifying the expenditure or capital, please mention the purpose in the certificate clearly. Please ensure source of funds for the promoters who have infused the fund and correlate the expenditure with TDS, compliance with GST, etc. All these provide additional evidences. Next question. Get the terms of engagement or appointment letter for every work you do. Also keep all communication between the client and you in any assignment for a period of 7 years. Do you take terms of engagement for each of the work you do?
Not for certifications.
Huh?
Not for certifications.
Not for certification. Audits? Tax audits?
Mostly.
Mostly no.
Mostly.
Now my question is very clear. Do you take a terms of engagement of tax audit from the client, or he just logs on to the income tax department and says add CA? Which one is your appointment letter? Add CA is your appointment letter, or you take an appointment letter in the client stationery separately?
Most cases we take.
So there is a flaw. Somewhere most cases. Now see, from confident yes to no most cases.
At say also there is. At say also there is.
So that is what I am saying. So that is what I am saying. So what is the best practice, sir? Because why I am saying is, again this relation of practical case which I have handled. There was a gentleman, again, unfortunately or fortunately, most of the cases handled came from Andhra. Right? So, an young chartered accountant, a person from somewhere approached him. He said that this year I want to change you from my existing auditor. Can you take up the tax audit? The gentleman said yes. So, in this case, he did not even add. So, from the computer in the client's office, he went there for some work. So, his name was added. He finished up the tax audit. He signed. Everything was over. Even signed. Physical copy was available, and the return was filed. The return, and this gentleman, though he resided, the client resided in Andhra, his PAN address was somewhere in Pune. He did not correct. So, when the tax audit was taken up for scrutiny, the income tax officer from authority from Pune issued a notice. This client thought, why should I engage an auditor to go and represent my case? I will go and myself represent the case. He went. Whether he represented or misrepresented, finally it ended up an addition of 2 crores. And this gentleman now, having visited with this liability, he went and filed a complaint with the institute saying that I have not appointed this fellow as my auditor. He has filed my returns. That put me into a loss of some 2 crores and some 30% or something he calculated. Kindly take an action. So the point was, we clearly said that where is the the appointment letter need not be done because the system is now changed. He has himself appointed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even permitted to upload his returns. The system is that. But the institute said, you should have, apart from that is a procedural aspect within the income tax department. You cannot now come back and say that procedure is my terms of engagement. So the views differ. We think that the moment they add, that's a proper appointment letter. But cutting across, the DC took a view that it is not proper appointment. You should have an appointment letter properly signed by the client.
But how will you get the password for filing?
Which one? No, that is a different argument we took. See, the simple argument finally, what was his grouse? He made a complaint saying that I have unauthorizedly filed this tax audit report. That is what is complained ultimately. Now he has added, without his addition I cannot do. I said the moment I file the return of income, there is a communication, mail goes. For 3 years he slept on the mail. Let him prove that he has not seen my mail. That means he is aware. When he is in trouble, he comes and makes a complaint, not when the original act was done. So his intentions and were nefarious argument, we just left it at the stage. I don't know what has happened to the decision, because after that chartered accountant did not come to me. This is the argument I took. He was aware. Let him prove that for 3 years he has not seen this mail.
Without saying that, he wouldn't have gone to Pune itself. Right?
That is what I am saying. So I told him this is nefarious. He was aware. His return was filed, he was authorized me to file, etc. All this are circumstantial evidences it proves. I think they should have accepted. Otherwise, if he has got into trouble, he would have come back to me.
Unless he has also changed the charter.
See, what happens is, sir, unfortunately, I will not blame chartered accountant, because the moment they see a notice from the institute, they panic. The biggest mistake they do is, please understand, I am not advocating any professional work for me as far as DC is concerned, because I stopped handling DC cases. Don't write replies on your own. That's a big mistake you make.
We get a lot emotional when we are writing on
Right. I have seen one reply of a senior chartered accountant in Chennai when he was listed with the notice. You know what is the reply he said? I have been in practice for 35 years. Blemishless record. I was also a faculty in various branches, SARC, etc. Kindly, if at all there is any mistake, I may be pardoned. He is a very senior person. I told him, sir, don't write. This is not a reply. I told him the reply. I said there is no case. He felt, sir, you would offensive பதில் sir. Sir, இங்க எழுத விட்டீங்கன்னா நாளைக்கு ஹைகோர்ட் எங்கே போகும்போது ஏன் அங்கே எழுதல இந்த பாயிண்ட் வரும். So allow me to draft the reply, I will do. It's my baby. I will take care. He was excellent. So don't think that when your position is there, please first assess whether the complaint is validly filed or not. In a bank, what happened? Bank manager will file. Branch manager will file a complaint. Please understand, your code of ethics says, if at all a bank is making a complaint, it should be authorized by a person by a resolution passed in the board. No bank will pass a resolution asking for what do you call State Bank of India, Tiruchirappalli branch to file a complaint. So institute takes, because they are left with no choice whether it's a valid complaint or they cannot take a position. So you take a position whether the complaint is valid. Similarly, when CBI files a complaint, what you should do? Whether CBI is permitted by the state to operate to file a complaint. Take a position. Because most of the states, if they are loggerheads with the central government, they withdraw the permission. And even if they permit also, you should see which of the acts CBI is permitted to file a complaint or act. I have never seen any state act where CA Act is included for CBI to do. So I take a first position, this is not a valid complaint. Whether you win at DC level or not, at least at appellate level you may get a relief. Raise all the issues. And from the moment the complaint is received, you should have been forwarded within 60 days. There are enough judgments I can throw saying that time is sacrosanct. If 60 days is not followed, the complaint is not valid. I will take a position. And within 45 days of what do you call direct and disciplinary opinion, case should be heard by DC. So please read all the procedures. Whatever procedure is recommended, if you feel that procedure is violated, don't hesitate, highlight. Let them answer. Why we should bother? Right? So don't sign the financials before the client signs. Concurrent auditor, I said, systems are not followed. Don't sign the financials of your relatives even if it is for a fee. Many chartered accountants think they are very smart. What they do is, they also do the accounting work as well as audit. And accounting fee is generally taken in the name of father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, whatever in-laws, including the donkey in the house. When the client is offended, he goes and files a complaint saying that he or she did the entire accounting work. This is the fee I paid. So violation of code of ethics. You have done the audit work and it is like a self-review. Self-review threat is one of the important issues in code of ethics. So she herself or he herself wrote the accounts. And now that is audited by her or by him. You have no defense. So how to get over? Small companies, many of the private limited companies, we ourselves write accounts, we ourselves audit. You may have to be innovative to find solutions. We can find. Think about it, otherwise I will tell you after the meeting is over. It is recorded, so I don't want to tell you.
Company should file the
Sir, I will ask
in the
the
first year itself.
Huh?
I asked them to because 90% of rural practice like that.
That is what I am saying, sir.
No, first year itself the company should complain, not second, third, fourth.
No, that is what I am saying. You go to rural, no, sir, even small companies in Chennai, sir, husband, wife, doctors, you maintain everything. Now today, please understand, from 1/4/22 onwards, I think you have to maintain daily backup. How many of you have seen for 31st March 23 balance sheet which you have signed for a company? Have you ever seen daily backup is taken? That is mandated by law. Accounting standard rules clearly says backup will have to be taken daily. If I come to your office and verify, how many of you confidently will say, sir, for 22 to 23, 365 days I can give you a backup of accounts records? Can you give?
99.99 no sir.
Huh?
99.99 no sir.
Other one, I think there is no time to go and inspect. Absolutely. Otherwise, you have to qualify in the report saying that the accounts are, you say proper books of accounts and records are maintained by the company under 143(3). If this is not maintained, this is not proper books of accounts. Leave alone. Now the another animal is audit trail. How do you? So, backup you should have done every day. And most of the private limited companies, auditor gets one tally license, he maintains everything. So at least take a license for tally in your client's name. You maintain everything. Otherwise, client will not be able to prove where without tally license he maintains tallies, is it? At least have a license in client's name. You use it in your office. Take a backup daily, and year end you transfer it to client's records. This is how somewhere you have to find a solution for what you work. Today, if you have not qualified for last year, forget about last year, that's not a crime. At least current year you ensure 365 days backup. That is what the law says. 365 days backup is not there, then no proper books of accounts is maintained. You have to qualify. I am sure 100% of the auditors, barring wherever SAP is done, where a regular backup is automatically triggered, nobody does. Especially these tally cases where auditor himself maintains accounts.
That is what perspective.
Eh?
That is what perspective.
That's what I am saying.
That is for small companies who can make it manually.
Manual maintenance is okay. No, don't say I will take a printout or keep it in PDF and call this manual.
I'm not writing.
Writing. Manual writing is permitted.
In case of private limited company, books of accounts have to be in the registered office, like if you are meeting LCD meeting.
That is what I am saying, madam. To prove that you maintain books in tally, the client will not have license for tally. And you say books maintained in tally in registered office, where is the proof? Then it will clearly point out that you maintain the accounts and you audited, your independence, your self-review, all this will come into play. You will not be able to defend. Times are completely different now. At least please be protecting yourself.
What if the client is maintaining the books of accounts and hard copy, vouchers?
Now that is what I am saying. Hard copy, taking a PDF and say that I have maintained is not acceptable.
They are making manual books of accounts.
Manual is allowed.
Entries, and we are doing we are putting it in tally. That's it.
If you are able to demonstrate finally whatever books is maintained in manual, you are only transferred to tally, that's fine. You will escape. Manual, not daily backup. If it is maintained, and that server will have to be located in India. If you maintain in cloud, Microsoft Cloud, How sure are you that it is maintained in a server in India? With our small fee in the cloud, if I ask for a certification Microsoft, they will throw me out. So please be aware, this backup is serious issue. If it is not done, at least say in the audit report saying that we are not providing the evidence the company has taken a daily backup or not. You will be safe. I have not seen one balance sheet of a small company where they came back and said not maintained. Not one balance sheet I have seen qualified.
Till now we have not included that in our format.
So that is what I am saying.
It's not there in the format of this. You're correct.
This is a very serious issue I am talking of. And this audit trail, you should have an evidence.
So even holidays you are supposed to take that.
Which one?
Even on holidays.
Sir, accounting standard say 365 days, daily backup. If there is no transaction, at least record that transaction is not there.
That
You
can
go to
happen only on
accounting
audit.
standards rule 128 of the Companies Act. The rules, allied rules, it says that the backup has to be done on a daily basis. I don't know who is in corporate ministry sits on this matters. Some judge, I'm sorry to say.
Somebody who doesn't know auditing.
That is what, some judge. Even if the government of India takes a daily backup, I'm not sure. For small companies, really it is, I have to qualify. If I don't have that evidence, I have to qualify in the audit report. That's a serious issue.
There are software which automatically backs up. There are softwares which automatically backs up.
Sir, that is what I am saying, sir.
But
365 days. See what happens after 1 week automatically due to space constraints it will override.
Yeah, it will mean it will not.
You should ensure that backup for 365 days is available in the
It's not
records.
available for each take. It will override.
That is what I am saying. So you should keep it separately.
Backup can be on incremental basis as well. Backup can be on incremental.
That is what I am saying, madam. You have an evidence that every day you took a backup. Whether it is on an incremental basis or on that day, whatever work you have done.
Means day 1 day backup, and day 2 1 day plus any changes.
Incremental changes.
Or
That's what I am saying. That is what is called a backup.
But otherwise it will duplicate.
You have to demonstrate, if ROC comes and inspects, you have to demonstrate saying that 365 days backup is available.
And that you have to have for 8 years.
Yes.
I don't think anything
It's stored itself.
Huh?
Not to spend a lot of
No,
time.
what happens? See, if it is not holding, a computer crashes, go and file a complaint at least saying somewhere my computer crashed. Make an insurance claim, at least this evidence is available, no? Your computer is crashed. All it requires is, see, please understand, we are in Anglo-Saxon law. I don't have to follow dharma, I have to have evidence. Simple. Right? So concurrent audits, if any system software not accessed, I think we have discussed. Don't sign the financials of your relatives. Right? If you are certifying ROC forms, kindly check all the parameters like notice to the meeting, in service on all concerned, attendant register, copy of the minutes duly signed. If possible, obtain representation from all directors concerned that if it involves someone's resignation or appointment. This is a very interesting case. An young chartered accountant in Chennai, typical of what do you call his enthusiasm, etc. He was also involved in business of issuing digital signatures, certificates. One of his clients has identified a business opportunity where he wanted to invest in a sinking company. Another company which has a good potential, but due to some bad management or anything, the properties of company came for what do you call auction under your regular IBC, not IBC process, the previous process, right? So his client told him, I want to invest into the other company, so kindly make this, and they entered into an MOU. This the investor company and the investee management entered into MOU saying that investor will pump in so and so money into the investee company. Investee company will undertake to remove its existing managing director and appoint the investor's nominee as the managing director. All this were documented in MOU. What has happened? To carry out all this, the investee company said, my digital signature expired, not renewed. That is what the exact words used. So, since your auditor is also involved in doing this business, why don't you ask him to renew my digital signature and carry out all the formalities. This man dutifully did this, and previously, I think there is a PFX version, some years back was available. 5 years back, right? You used it, removed the investee company MD, appointed his client as the MD, all the documents he carried out. What has happened? Whatever the proof of documents he received, KYC documents, what he received for issuing this PF certificate, will have to be remitted to the digital signing authority. While he was sending this courier, this was lost. Somewhere, some 10 certificates what he has issued, some digital signatures he issued, the documents was lost. So he went and asked the investee company, the director of the investee company, sir, the document is lost, can you please get me whatever the copies? Some crooked brain. This has happened after some time. The investee company went and filed a police complaint against the auditor, as well against the ROC, saying that I was unceremoniously removed. My digital signature was forged. I don't know how digital signature can be forged. He went and filed a police complaint and saying that I was removed, I was put to a great mental loss, monetary loss. He also filed a complaint against Institute. So when the case came in, I took a simple point. Now, in order to issue a digital signature, I need to have his PAN number. Without PAN number, I cannot issue. Now tell me, he has to demonstrate that I got his PAN number surreptitiously. That is not demonstrated. That means that he has given me the PAN number. Point number 1. The moment there is a digital signature is uploaded using some document is filed, a mail from MCA is triggered, saying that so and so take action is taken using your digital signature, please verify. He has not, for 3 months he was aware, he has not verified, he has not come back. The moment I went and asked for these documents, he is filing a complaint. I said, yes, I issued a digital certificate, that's a mistake I've lost, that's the only mistake I've made. Nothing hanky-panky I've done. The Board of Discipline accepted this order. So the point is, many of us, again, digital signature. I am sure every office, if I walk today, I will find one bunch of dabba where you will find some 20-30 digital signature of all your clients.
No sir, 140, 150.
And all of them will have.
So then you have a locker instead of a bunch
I have a
of
laptop,
dabba.
sir. I have a separate shelf for it.
So now what happens if one of your employees misuses digital signature?
We get a sign from register, like affixing for this, like what is the profit?
If you are having 150, if you are having what number of digital signature from client, if you are holding a document, for what purpose they have handed you over the digital signature, you will escape. I am sure 99% of the chartered accountant does not have this.
They have inward and outward register also the moment they take that.
Then what happens, madam? Our full-time practice will be maintaining the register.
The apprentices are taking this.
So, see, today's world, the possibilities of fraud is huge. It's possible, right? Anywhere you have to be very, very cautious, right? So, if you are taking a digital signature and that lies in your office, please take a letter from the client for what purpose he is handing over the digital signature to you. That will save you from a lot of headaches. Otherwise, if one of your apprentices or somebody plays a prank with the digital signature, you are caught. Because the entire identity, your IP number, everything will be captured. And even the client in this case, the fellow who has asked you to issue a digital signature, he went and made a complaint. Fortunately for him, this fact plus MOU signed saved it. So digital signature, right? If you want to ensure that your observation certificate has a restricted use, please mention. To say that this certificate is issued for Syndicate Bank of Tokyo, the branch. What purpose? Mention it's very, very clearly. That's better. Otherwise, it cannot be misused. If you simply say to whomsoever is concerned, then you are inviting trouble. Right? And if your signature is suspect, forged, don't stop with only writing. Today, this is a major issue. Many of the chartered accountants friends in Chennai have faced this issue. What you should do? This is again an young chartered accountant. He was from what do you call nearby place from Chennai. His native is Andhra. He went and settled in Hyderabad for better prospects to start his practice. And to his what you call happiness, he went and stayed in a big apartment complex, some 300-400 apartment complex. The moment they knew that he is a chartered accountant in practice, the apartment association asked him, "Sir, can you be our auditors?" This man was so gleeful because the moment he migrated to Hyderabad, some work comes. He accepted. This happened in in April or May of a particular year. By December, his practice did not grow the way he wanted in Hyderabad. So he migrated back to his native place. Shut down his office in Hyderabad, whatever it is, he came back. He never knew anything. Suddenly one fine morning he got a notice from Board of Director Discipline saying that this balance sheet is signed by you. Please clarify. One says that you are not it is signed. Then he saw his signature, it's not his signature, it is forged. So he wrote to the Director Discipline saying that you can verify my signature with the card which you have maintained. This is not my signature. The Director Discipline accepted saying that yes, this is not your signature, not guilty. Very clear verdict. But unfortunately, when the Board of Discipline, which has to vet the decision of the Director Discipline, they took a view saying that Director Discipline is not a forensic expert to identify handwriting. So take up this case for further scrutiny, further hearing. So it came. So I took an argument saying that I fully agree with your observations. He may not be a competent person under forensics to identify the signatures. Then before concluding I am guilty or not, you should have asked somebody to verify my signature. So in the meanwhile, I got hold of a forensic expert myself, paid him a requested professional fee, took an opinion that signature, what is found on the balance sheet, and his signature in the institute is completely different. So I am armed. I said, if you want, you can call the forensic expert for cross-examination, or you can cause this to be verified by yourself, your thing. What has happened? Same thing. The Board of Discipline, the Discipline Committee said, in the meanwhile, this young chartered accountant, the moment he came to know about it, he wrote to the institute saying that this is what I have received, my signature is forged, please kindly guide me. He did not receive any reply from the institute. Right. So when the matter said, I represented saying that he also wrote to the institute. From came the reply saying that we are not here to guide you on this matter. I think they are right. Because if everybody starts writing to the institute, they cannot read. But I told them, fine. But at least you could have replied saying that I will not guide you. That you have not done. An young member is entitled to expect this. So finally what happened, I told them, what is your grouse? Then they said, the moment you are aware, you should have filed an FIR. Since you are not filed an FIR, we assume that you are also accomplice to the party. Some extreme views were taken. Finally I said, what is your grouse? My filing of FIR is not is a grouse. Only 3 years up. It's a criminal case. There is no time barring in criminal case. Abate the hearing for 2 weeks. I'll get an FIR filed. I got it and he got extradited. So I am only cautioning, especially I see with many lady chartered accountant friends are here, their signature are forged. I don't know, because they think that a lady chartered accountant will not walk to a police station to make a complaint. That seems to be the psyche. Within Madras itself, I have seen 5-6 lady chartered accountant friends approach me. I told them, please go and file an FIR first.
But nowadays, UDIN is one of the controls. If somebody forges a certificate, they will not be able to.
UDIN now, sir. Previously, there is no UDIN.
Previously, of course, 2019.
See, you really don't know. I think there is one case which I recently said UDIN is what do you call fraudulently generated. UDIN, not from the institute website. So people will find ways to even, you think UDN, they will find ways to, well, parallel institute may be running, sir. Because the fraudster mentality is, first lesson in forensics is, any fraudster, what is the psychology? You always think that they can do a fraud, it will not be detected. That is the psyche. But invariably you will leave a trade. I've been an investigator in my early days of practice. You will definitely have a trade. The only thing as an investigator, you should be lucky enough to get the trail in the first instance. Otherwise, what happens? You go to this route, block, come back, go to this route, block. Maybe in the nth you will get, but you will get. You should have patience. Tell me, madam, you are saying something.
Now this UDIN has come, sir. These things were there in earlier times, but still people receive.
Madam, if you are people, see how many of the clients know that UDIN is mandatory? Not many. For example, flat association, they may not know UDIN is required. So they will simply say that order is signed.
Anyone who goes to the bank for loan, they will know that UDIN is
Now I am coming to next question. Where do you put your UDIN? Where do you put? You put UDIN on the audit report, or you put on the audit report plus to P&L, balance sheet, etc. Or everywhere.
Audit report, balance sheet.
Only P&L and balance sheet, right? Then only audit report. See how many views you get.
Sir, audit report.
So there are 50 people here. You get 100 opinions. Three places.
P&L and balance sheet.
Okay.
And if cash flow is there, there.
Cash flow.
Wherever you sign.
Wherever you sign.
I think that's correct, sir.
Wherever there's a seal with membership number.
I think quite a good number of cases institute can take voluntarily. Because DC mechanism, institute gets an option on voluntarily, they can cumulative basis they can take. Quite number of cases, what is your UDN report to authenticate a report issued by you? It is only your statutory audit report. You can't put the UDN in balance sheet, P&L, cash flow, notes and accounts every place.
Sir, bank will not accept for loan processing
Sir,
unless the
let them accept or not accept, sir. That is not your botheration. If I take a view, UDN is not mandated only for audit report, you have put in financial statement, where you will go?
Bank fellows, foolishly they will ask even for CMA
Let them
statement,
go and verify the financial statement, sir. They have a mechanism to verify whether the UDN is issued by you or not. That option is available. Let them go and verify. Because there the financial information is filled. Some information is filled. They can authenticate with that. Fortunately, nothing seriously happens, so nobody bothers. Otherwise, we put UDN number in every place.
So supposing I sign a balance sheet and then give the audit report. Client uses my report and then replaces with another.
Because I will give you a counter example also. Is UDN mandatory today itself when I sign? Not. I have time up to I think 60 days to generate and give. Right? It is for the client to communicate this is UDN number my auditor has given me. You need not even affix on the audit report. You can communicate to the client later on. Right?
But is it fine to have the UDN number, the same UDN number?
See,
on
what
all
I am saying
reports
is,
and
by practice, we are as chartered accountants, we are accustomed to put UDN number in balance sheet, P&L, cash flow, etc.
Because
Nothing
we are
wrong.
signing over.
But I would only suggest that why do you want to put all your numbers when it is not warranted? Today's practice, see, the generation of practice today is completely different. Auditors made a scapegoat at every point of time. So avoid. Put in an audit report, that's fine. Because it is only, I am issued this audit report, I am authenticating. Because in UDN form itself, you fill no. For what you are generating UDN? Do you say for P&L I am generating UDN? That's what. You fill financial statement, you say it's an audit report under Companies Act or tax audit. You say only for that report you are generating UDN. Why do you want to affix in every place?
we also have to state some of the financials reports.
That is what I am saying, madam. So that is only for bankers to log in and see whether you have done, whether this P&L statement is signed by you or not.
But we have to sign the financials as well.
Fine, you sign. That is what I am saying. Signing financial statement is okay. What I am saying is affixing an UDN number, in my view, is not warranted.
The date of signing the report and the UDIN taken will be different.
It will be different. That is what I am saying. That is why the UDN you have to communicate to the client. This is the UDN number. Today, bankers they want even the authentication of income tax return filed.
Even for ROC filing purposes,
You cannot take a, what do you call form IT or FI or whatever it is. You cannot attest. Please understand. You are not an authorized person to attest. Institute is very, very clear. If you still go back and attest, you will be in trouble. Because you are not an authorized person to attest.
while submitting an empanelment, we are putting through the servers.
Which one?
While submitting empanelment application.
Which empanelment, sir?
RBI or
No, that is your own financial recognition. That is not attestation. It is self-signature.
We are not certified.
don't certify for others.
Don't ever ITR file. This is a written file. Or this is statement of income for what? You are not supposed to say true copy or anything. But most, see the problem with rural branches I see is, most of the banks insist that auditor should sign ITR file, statement of total income. It is time the institute should educate bankers through RBI. This is not acceptable practice.
Sir, I have had a very bad experience with IDB Bank, who was insisting that the project report submitted by the client should be signed with the round seal. You don't put your signature, you put your round seal alone. Don't put your round seal, put the signature. I had to fight with the manager. He said, I will show you 10
can
proofs.
say, sir, anybody can manufacture, but not your signature.
So many things I had to fight. It was a North Indian gentleman sitting there. The client is coming to my office, he's begging me to sign, loan will not be sanctioned, and I had to put my foot down. I had to give
no
the
harm
copies.
in, what do you call it? See, there is a standard which says of SAE.
Yeah, I know that.
You have to follow that standard and you can issue a projected financial statement. Nothing wrong in that. But you have to follow stating that clearly I don't vouch for the future forecast. This information is reasonable. All these precautions you have to take. But simply signing a project report without mentioning anything, you will in a trouble.
It's a project viability test.
That is what I am saying, sir. Sir, if you certify project viability, you are crystal gazing into future. Then we can change our profession, become a good astrologer. Without accountability anyone, we can make money.
Sir, in LFAR, one of the schedules we just do the projections. There I just make a note like
LFAR?
LFAR.
Projection?
About the 2 crores or 5 crores.
No, that
LFAR is, see, you take, if
Bank,
respect
like,
the advances are for larger size, that is for the branch management to prepare the document and give you audit.
That's what, sir, they give that. But எல்லாமே ஒரே document generate. Certain banks they have a single document gets generated as a single document, and we have to affix our DSC.
No, see, as far as the attendant to LFIR in terms of large advances, there is no need for an auditor signature at all. It is branch management responsibility to provide.
We don't sign it, but
Don't
like,
sign.
I mean, this comes as a single document. What I'm trying to say. It's
ஒரு லெட்டர் எழுதி கையில வாங்கிடுங்க
That's
அவ்வளவுதான்.
what,
இது வந்து
like, I
எனக்கு
just
சிக்னேச்சர் இது
happened
கிடையாது
to-
இந்த மாதிரி வந்திருக்கு.
That's what happened. We don't certify work for those signatures.
கீழே பிரான்ச் இன்சார்ஜ் தான் இருக்கும். ஆடிட்டர் you remarks தான் இருக்கும். ஆடிட்டர் அந்த டாக்குமெண்ட் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்றதுக்கு ஆடிட்டருக்கு எந்த ரோலும் கிடையாது. நீங்க சைன் பண்ணணும்.
Sir, 2 crore and above only, as I said, it is only the bank manager's responsibility. He only signs.
Even in earlier days when it used to be manual certification, only auditor's comments only is there. It is not.
No need to sign.
There is no validity of the.
2 crore நீங்க சைன் பண்ணீங்கன்னா you are inviting trouble.
No, no,
நம்ம
just
அந்த
I give a
அவ்வளவுதான்
disclosure.
கொடுத்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷன். See, ஒரு பெரிய பிரான்ச் போனீங்கன்னா ஒரு bunch of ஒரு 200 பேஜுக்கு வரும். அவ்வளவு அக்கவுண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கும். அதெல்லாம் நம்ம உட்கார்ந்து செக் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க முடியாது. Project viability, sir, that is what I am saying, sir. There is an auditing standard which says how you have to certify the financial forecast. You follow that, issue a report in accordance with the standard, you are safe. Without that, without following, if you are issuing a report or anything, you are in trouble. Right?
And end use certificate can be given.
Is it?
Can you just touch upon end
That
use
is the point I-
certificate?
Is it what?
End use certificate.
Ah.
Bankers ask us this end
No,
use.
that is what I am saying. You specifically say this is what I have done, what is the purpose, what is the source of information, everything you mentioned. See, நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், ஒரு லைன்ல வந்து எதையோ சர்டிஃபை பண்றோம். அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணாதீங்க. ரொம்ப டீடைலா போடுங்க. என்ன வெரிஃபை பண்ணீங்க?
அவங்க சார் பேங்க்ல அசஸ்மெண்ட்டே தப்பா இருக்கும். இப்போ MBPFல அசஸ் பண்ணணும்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. அந்த ப்ரொபோசலை டர்ன் ஓவர் மெத்தட்ல அசஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க.
See, that is their internal document, sir.
பட் அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம பண்ற ரிசல்ட்ஸும் தப்பாக இருக்கும்.
That is what I am saying. See, you can give, if you follow as per the auditing standards is concerned, the SAE is 2410 no standard. அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணி நீங்க பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா you are safe. Or 2400 நினைக்கிறேன். Right? 3400 வா? Okay, fine. Quite long time I thought auditing standards. Thanks.
கூட surprised to
Huh?
earlier you were teaching the books.
Earlier I was teaching, it's quite a long time, sir, 2004.
Student, I was.
Right. So, written representation by all directors. How many of you take management representation for all audits? Please take. If company is having only 2-3 directors, it's best let them all sign. Because I have been a victim where one of my clients invested in a software company. They were trying to develop a mobile app. Very, very popular mobile app. I don't want to name the company now. Right? So, the idea was a chartered accountant who relocated from USA. It so happened that due to some terms of that, they could not agree on the terms. So this chartered accountant filed a complaint with ROC saying that this accounts is forged, expenses are inflated, whatever nonsense he can write, he wrote. But to his misfortune, he also sent me a copy of the letter. Otherwise, I wouldn't been aware of what is the fight that's taking place unless the next audit comes. It's a small company that's developing. The moment it came to me, I told the managing director, don't bother. He has written a representation signed by him saying that there is no hanky-panky, there is no problem. So we went and filed with ROC, ROC closed the case. So this saved, right? So take that, and another case I will tell you. There was a husband and wife, right? Having what do you call it, holding company, and it had a subsidiary company. Subsidiary company had a huge parcel of land, close to some 200 acres or not in a prime place. So what they did is, the holding company was 100% holding company. In the holding company, husband had about 70% shares, wife had 30%. They thought they will merge and become one company. It was going very smooth. What had happened? This husband had some nefarious dealing elsewhere when he went abroad. And he captured those photographs, and that was also available in his laptop. The daughter opened the laptop, unfortunately, and she went and told mother, this is what your husband is doing. Right? So, the case was filed. They started divorce proceedings, everything that's happened, that's all different story. When this merger was going place, the accounts will go to official liquidator. Official liquidator got hold of some auditor who signed there is no hanky-panky, any of this. The wife, in her anxiety to file a complaint against the auditor, whom she thought that is colliding with the husband, filed a complaint against the official liquidator and auditor who signed it. So the person who got appointed by the official liquidator, my good friend, he came to me. I said, where is your working papers? அவன் என்கிட்ட என்ன சொன்னாங்க, 10,000 ரூபாய் தான் ஃபீ, இதில் ஒர்க்கிங் பேப்பர் வாங்கி வச்சுப்பேன். I said, உனக்கு டெஃபினட்டாக மரண தண்டனை, அந்த விஷ ஊசியா தூக்கம் எலக்ட்ரிக் சேரை நாங்கள் அப்புறம் டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். இந்த மாதிரி என்ன பேசுறேன்னா, then absolutely இவங்கிட்ட எந்த பேப்பரும் கிடையாது. There was a complaint saying that you are not the auditor, but there is a complaint filed against him. Now I have to reply. என்ன பண்ணா, suddenly, that is what I am saying. Some good fortune the auditor had, not me. I remember when they filed a merger application, before going to the application, they would have filed a document with High Court. Affidavit, both the directors would have filed saying that there is no hanky-panky in the accounts. So I wrote to the institute, if she says this complaint is genuine, no, she has filed an affidavit with the court saying that nothing hanky-panky, then that is a perjury. Or if that is correct, there is no complaint against me. The moment I wrote a reply saying that this is a perjury, she withdrew the complaint. So we think that husband and wife directors, all this, please be cautious. Take representation letters signed by both of them. Because ultimate scapegoat is easy for the auditor to drag them. In tax audit, wherever you are replying, I said no. In the earlier case partnership, when you are relying on some decisions, please mention. This is one of the, you could have observed what you call institute document of tax audit observations on TAPR reports. They say that many chartered accountants don't report what decision they are relying on while taking a particular position. Because what happens, there is a variant. You take a position saying that this is not what you call taxable. The client has a responsibility to file the income tax return. He says that it is not taxable. So there is what do you call a difference between the tax audit report and the income tax return filed. Either you are listed in the notice, or he is, what do you call, a prima facie addition is made in his case, and a case is taken up as scrutiny. So in order to save our neck, wherever you are relying on a particular decision, please mention what decisions you are relying on. That will save your neck. Because, see, I handled a case, very unique case. Income tax department filed a case against the chartered accountant saying that he has omitted to report 40A3. 40A3 you all know, more than cash purchases for more than 20,000 rupees. You know what was the complaint? Can you estimate what is the totality what the complaint made against chartered accountant of not reporting? 4,000 crores. Simple, it was a case where the jewellery was exchanged. Many of the jewellery they exchanged, no? This exchange, the department thought that it was by cash. So we have to demonstrate, we verified everything, and ultimately there was a raid conducted, so they went and admitted in settlement commission, this is what they have admitted. So all this finally we are able to, what do you call, unfortunately the gentleman passed away in between. And to the extent obtain confirmation directly from banks. Post to Satyam, how many of you obtain bank confirmation directly? Or you still believe the client and take the confirmation from the client? Directly from the bank is what is expected today. Bank will give. You have to take a letter from authorization letter from the client, send your apprentice, get the confirmation.
You are getting through email, not a problem, right? From the bank.
Sir, that email header can be forged. Today in digital world, anything can be done, sir. You go to US consulate, they will tell you how the bank statements are forged. It's a rampant racket. Now it stopped. It was a rampant racket sometime back.
Yeah, there was one place supposedly where they gave you any bank's letter to the state.
That is what I'm saying. Rampant racket. You go to US, they will tell you a number of cases. They can manufacture bank stationery and issue a statement. To such an extent, the fraud was taking place.
RBI is coming up with the portal for this, right?
Huh?
RBI is coming up with the portal for this, where auditors can directly get confirmation.
Maybe that's a good step. If they do it, it's a good step. See, I will tell you why this happened. Now, just share an experience. I'm not advocating for anybody. If you are Satyam auditor, how I can fool you? What was the case in Satyam? Bank fixed deposits to the large extent, some 5,200 odd crores, were bogus. I will prove those are genuine. Can I or can I not? Simple, sir. Before all this fraud took place, Brahmayya Raju was a great name. It will sell anywhere because I have been awarded the 3rd best software company. So much awards I have got. People were in queue. So what I will do, I will call State Bank of India. Come, I will give you 500 crore deposit. One genuine deposit I will make. 3 months deposit. So branch manager will come. He will hand over me the original receipt. After 15 days, I write to him saying that for urgent business reasons, I need my money. Unfortunately, I have lost that original fixed deposits you have given me. I am giving an indemnity bond. Still, I am untainted Brahmayya Raju. People will be willing to believe me to any extent. Right? So, 500 crores will be transferred. I go to Bank of India, make a deposit. Similar story, if I cycle in 10 banks, I will have original fixed deposits. As auditor, you walk to my office, I will give you originals. Because those days there is no 26 AS for you to cross-verify. Interest earned. I am not advocating, this is a possibility.
Even some people are there today, just to fix an amount that is for the individual businesses.
That is what I am saying, sir. So, today at least you have a, what do you call, 26 AS is there. At least interest earned, you will be able to corroborate. In 2009, such an evidence was not available, tool was not available for the auditors. So I could have, with my credibility, I could easily hoodwink to the auditors. So from then onwards, best practice is go and take confirmation directly from banks.
small clients cases it becomes very impractical. For like
See,
the
see,
projects.
that is what I am saying, sir. You have to, what do you call, rely on your luck. Or, see, today, all your KYC norms and all is of no use. I will only think, you see in SA 240 or what do you call, 315 or 300, they talk of audit risk. To me, I will not bother about audit risk. I will only bother about client risk. If the client is trustworthy or I feel where he is good, all risk plays in a different role. But the client is what you call hanky-panky, nefarious, all your audit risk is waste. An auditor of a temple society or flat association, I would only refer or advise chartered accountant friends not to take up any audit of a flat association, because 300, 400 flats will be there. At least 1 or 2 cantankerous elements will be there. They will come and ask, auditor morning you will be walking there. Sir, accounts in the Sarachi, twice the auditor will peacefully, calmly reply. Third occasion he gets irritated, he loses his mind. Then this fellow will write to the institute. This is what I have seen. Practically, temple. I have seen a complaint is filed against saying that a jewellery auditor not properly accounted. What is the job auditor has to do? Auditor is not vested with the responsibility of maintaining accounts. But unfortunately, institute cannot say that, because today they are answered right. The moment there is a complaint, they will only forward it to you for a reply. In your reply, you have to state it's not my responsibility. So, because in flat association, you will probably get a fee of 50,000 rupees max.
5,000.
50,000 nobody will pay. I have a resident welfare association with 1,400 apartments. For increasing the fees from 70,000 to 25,000, they took 1 year.
So, 1,400 apartments, you have practical experience. You have 10 people who
sir, phone vandute irukku sir, odiyadai. Phone vandute irukku.
So, you have badil sonna tappu. Illa neenga badil sollama. Because you are responsible to the collective body of owners association. If somebody is asking you individual questions and you reply, it's a violation. Other record panni you enter thaniya badil sollana neenga mudiyudhu. நீங்க சொல்லணும்னா கம்ப்ளைண்ட் எழுதுவோம். நான் கேட்டுட்டே இருக்கேன், இவருக்கு என்ன எவ்வளவு பெரிய ஆளா நான் பாத்துறேன்.
சார் அது 1400ல பேசாம அதுல யார் salary salary ரிட்டர்ன் போட்டுருந்தா கூட அந்த ஃபீஸோட அதிகமா வரும்.
அது the cantankerous person was
அந்த மாதிரி எம்ப்ளாய்மென்ட் ஏதாவது பண்ணணும் அவர்கிட்ட கேளுங்க சொல்லி கொடுப்பாரு.
அது the secretary was a cantankerous person, a retired DGM of public sector. He took my life out 1 year, then I said thank you and I sent him.
Temple 4 ட்ரஸ்டி இருப்பான் சார், 4 பேர் 4 டைரக்ஷன், 4 திக்கு பார்ப்பான். ஆடிட்டர் தான் பலி. போன வருஷம் ஒரு ஜுவல்லரி இருந்தது, ஆடிட்டர் வெரிஃபை பண்ணல. ஆடிட்டர் எங்க இருந்து வெரிஃபை பண்ணுவார்? So temple trust, the association, take a fee. 5 lakh ரூபாய் ஃபீஸ் வாங்கி பண்ணுங்க, நான் வாடான்னு சொல்லல. But your effort should be enough to protect your risk involved. Simple sir, 1400 அபார்ட்மெண்ட், ஒரு அபார்ட்மெண்ட்டுக்கு 250 ரூபாய் வச்சா கூட அந்த ஃபீஸ் வந்துருமே நமக்கு. Yeah. Right. Not to file a return from CA portal or return file பண்ணும்போது client கிட்ட letter வாங்கிக்கணும். உங்க ஆபீஸ்ல இந்த return file பண்ணுங்க. You can avoid the case what I told you. So the point is, today you are vested with very very high risk environment. As I said, you will definitely know. Rounding off வந்து இங்க சிட்டில பண்றீங்க. நிறைய இடத்துல balance sheet to the paisa I have seen. Rural they are not given, because the word that is used in schedule 3 is shall be rounded off. Defend, I have to go back to English, saying that shall means may in some circumstances. Then institute will throw me cases which says may means shall in some circumstances. They will also throw the cases. So please be careful. Backup, definitely qualify பண்ணுங்க. If your client is not taking 365 days backup, you don't have evidence, please qualify. Proper books means backup does not take and all, we are not given evidences, then you will save.
audit trail log is definitely going to be a huge
Audit trail log is a big issue, sir.
Going to
Sir,
be a very big issue.
simple, sir. SAP ல உங்களுக்கு calendar எப்படி ஆப்ரேட் பண்றதுன்னு தெரியல நீங்க என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? இந்த audit trail வந்து நேரா உள்ள லாகின் பண்ணும்போது சிஸ்ஆடுக்கு சேஞ்ச் பண்ற ஃபெசிலிட்டி இருக்கா இல்லைன்னு உங்களுக்கு எப்படி சார் தெரியும்? Genuinely, even SysAd should not be able to touch that audit trail. But invariably, நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா system administrator will have a right to change the audit trail. How do you know? So implement நீங்க பண்ணும்போது என்ன பண்றீங்கன்னு நமக்கு தெரியாது. And calendar close பண்ணும்போது calendar permanently close மாத்துறாங்க. So அது பண்ணது கிடையாது சார். வேற கேஸ் இதெல்லாம் இன்ஃபேக்ட் ஒரு டிசிப்ளினரி கேஸ் வந்து டிஃபெண்ட் பண்ணும்போது I asked the auditor. Auditor has changed the entries na complaint. And complaint கொடுத்தா எத்தனை பேர்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து சாட்சியம் வந்து ஒரு 40 பேர் சொல்லுவாங்க. இந்த என்ட்ரி எல்லாம் ஆடிட்டர் தான் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணாரு. சிபிஐ 40 பேர். பப்பட்டட் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஒரே மாதிரி லைன். இது அது ஃபார்ச்சுனேட்லி எந்த கம்ப்ளைண்ட் முதல்ல போச்சோ ஒரே ஒரு ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் இன்ஸ்டியூட் எடுத்துனாங்க. They held him guilty. Prima facie. I got an evidence on the particular day this gentleman was not in employment of the company. CBI அது பார்க்கல மொத்தமா வாங்கிட்டான். So I went to the DC and said that he is a modern day Sanjaya. At least in Mahabharata, Sanjaya had a vision. This man sits at 50 kilometers away from the place and sees what is happening here. So let us call and see him. They understood my mockery and case was thrown out. But CBI said there is only one complaint, remaining 39. There also I don't know what has happened because so much of cases he was feeling. I took a simple forensic the cabin was only 100 feet. Let them prove all the 39 saw me working. And I wanted a cross-examination, all the 39 at one go. Each of them to be separated, not to go out. Once they finish my cross-examination, they have to be in the hall. Then the senior partner was also caught. So then all of them said, sir, we will engage one counsel. That's fine. Take the entire cross-examination questions for the rest. I also wanted to get out of this DC practice. So you have to apply your mind. That's my primary thing is.
Auditors are generally given only the view.
Which
not
was
the, not the edit.
So that is what I'm saying.
Rights.
See,
They are given only the view.
doesn't matter. What I am saying is, you ensure that SysAd does not have the right to alter. Today, if you look at it, calendar is not properly closed. SysAd has the rights to alter. Then the sanctity of audit trail is gone. No? The ideal software could be SysAd should not also have the right the moment you close back to permanent close. Calendar closing is not done. Whether it is done daily or monetary year. See what you should do ideally. Every month calendar, the moment passes, you can't go back and pass a backdated entry. Only 31st March you will keep it open only for audit entry process. We don't check all those things.
You are talking about SAP related companies which are only 1% of the total.
Whichever, sir,
99%
SAP or
is on Tally.
QuickBooks.
99% is on Tally.
QuickBooks.
Yeah,
Many software, whatever you use.
There are companies, but 90% are in Tally.
Tally, I don't know. Tally, I saw a lot of mails from Tally. They said what do you call it? Audit trail, the enabled version, Tally ERP.
It doesn't work, sir. I have tried all that.
I'm not sure whether Tally is a ERP or not.
It's a big problem in transferring the data as well when you go for that upgraded version.
To me, Tally is at best an accounting software. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. It's all. It is not any proper ERP. See the controls what you are in ERP. Model wise, you have to go transfer the entries. That doesn't happen in Tally.
So for that you have to subscribe for some of their features, and then you will get all those things in Tally as well. But majority of the
So
people
that is what I'm
go
saying,
by
madam.
that,
See,
you know,
that is what I'm saying. Private limited companies today, auditors maintain the accounts and they say that audit trail is available. And without knowing, the client does not even have a license for Tally in his name. That's the biggest risk. It will easily prove that you have done the accounting as well as the audit. So times are not good. So I would at least recommend that you have a license in the client's name. At least you will prove that he had a software. Right? So based on my experience, to some, don't put yourself in a position of jeopardy in the guise of trying to help my client. Client 30 years client, sir, 40 years client, he has been with me right from my father's age, knows that silly sentiments. These are professional relationship. Friendship is different. It's not mixed that. Keep the distance away with the client. Maintain that, it will be safe for you. Because once he faces this problem, the client is not going to come to your rescue. The only one case where 40A3 case I talked about, where the client said, defend my auditor at any cost, whatever you feel. You don't get clients that way. He said, defend him at any cost. I'll pay the fee. Very rare to come across such clients. Right? So don't do. Take adequate precautions. MRL is a very, very vital document. Written representation letter. Digital signature in your office. Take a letter for what purpose it is done. Certificates. Mention clearly what purpose, what documents you relied on, how you verified. It may be extended. Exhaustive certificate, let it be. Flat associations, please be careful. And don't sign anything for a walk-in client. Certificates and all don't do for walk-ins. Right, friends, as I said, time given to me is about 7:45 to 8, I will close. Almost 5 minutes. If any feedback from you, I would like to take. Or any clarification you want, I'm willing to take.
Any precautions you need to take for filing individual returns of NRIs?
See, if they are taking some positions, for example, they say this is my state in India. Let them put in the mail stating that this is my number of state, because your state will determine your taxable status. So, on copy of the passport you cannot verify, madam, because it is not chronologically sealed. They open random pages, the immigration with the crowd. Any page that comes, even in your face also, they will have it stamp. That is not your job. And see, somebody is holding, what do you call the big passport, two frequent travelers. How do you compute the number of days what he came in? So it's best for the client to let him say that this is a document I came in, this is the date I exited. On a safe side, though there are judgments say that you can exclude one of the days, but I would include both the days when he is in India to be in India, even 1 hour. No? That is what I am saying. There are enough judgment says that, what do you call, when at least one of the days you can take it, let him be in India, the other day you can say he has traveled. But to be on a cautious side, whatever the days, even for a minute if he is in India, take his in India. You really don't know whether he is a domain or citizen of, because your tax law now says that if he is a person of citizen or Indian origin, if he is not a resident in any other tax law, his income is 15 lakhs plus, he has got 6 fingers in the hand, then he is a tax resident in India. Some tax law says that. So better let him commit what is his position. Stay as far as stay, you don't go to the passport and study. Let him say what this is what I came in, then I went out. And record that, that will be with you.
I get a charge from him. Day out.
Same thing, I also follow. Let him commit, that will be in my mail or my working papers.
They gave a statement in front of me, they signed.
Almost documents.
Yeah, I uploaded the document. In front of me, they signed, they said, auditor will sign. So, he got some letter from BSc, saying not through it, how you prove that the client has signed the document in your presence.
Is the client disputing he has not signed? The client accepts what is the issue. See, in all probability, the client would have gone to the DC saying that I have not signed any message. The client accepts, there are no issues. See, counter to proof for he has not come. It will be difficult for the institute when the client himself admits that he has come to the auditor's office. Oh, Chinese. Okay. Then the client will not come because the client is behind the master. Then you have to find some digital evidences what's happening. Check whether he is operating in a complex, where there is a list available, somebody walks in. What sort of a security system what you have in your office. somewhere a digital train will be there. Or if you can access to the client, let him also give an affidavit saying that, yes, I can. Once it is an affidavit, even if it is in jail also, he can give an affidavit, it's not a problem. Affidavit will save him. Right, friends? Any more queries?
What is the CA portal which you are saying?
Last question.
Which one?
Last
Not
one.
file.
Not
From
to
the
file a
system
return
of the
on
office.
from
From
your
your
CA portal.
No.
Office system.
No, from your office portal. From your office, don't file when the return of income and your tax audit report at variance.
And most clients come with a bunch of their entire family members' returns.
Yes, sir.
And they only like that person will only be finalizing and in one of the cases, what happened, the client filed a complaint that this guy is filing returns on my behalf. I do not do the auditor and I have never been to that auditor's place and they are mismanaging my account. So what to do in this case? We cannot be asking.
No,
for
the
some
point is,
purpose.
see, if the return is filed, what is the time gap between the return filed and the complaint origination?
It's quite a number of years. Like,
Then you say that he is aware. The moment you file a return, a mail is triggered from income tax saying that your return is filed, this is your acknowledgement, everything goes.
You don't know whose email ID or phone number they have given.
so the email ID, phone number, everything the husband used to manage. And when they went into
See,
divorce thing, then the
it's
wife
not the
was
case
saying
that
for
where some
about-
ex gives his mobile number, phone number, etc. to them. It will be, he may managed, but you would have given ABCD means you would have given A's mail number, what do you call mail ID, B's mail ID, C's ID. So the mail would have gone.
Now only it is that PAN and Aadhaar should be linked and PAN mobile number and mobile.
No, that's fine. What I am saying is the moment you file, unless that X who has done this mischief has given his mail ID everywhere.
That only happens. So if like my father used to file my return earlier, so he would be mentioning his number and his email ID in all the 4 5.
So that means what is the year of all these years that particular person was aware that the return is filed. Isn't it? The father was filing or ex was filing, whatever it is, they kept quiet. So only in the year when there is a problem, they come back to me.
Now, if it's something like my father is filing the return, then I am complaining that he has been filing my return.
That is what I am saying, madam. If the substance in the complaint will hold good if it is done in the first year. If 3-4 years have gone and he is an accomplice to the entire actions, he is silent approver, tacit understanding of what his father is doing. So you cannot come back and say that this area is wrongly filed.
Aadhaar validation, we are doing that. Aadhaar OTP.
That is now.
See, how is it? See, tell me, how is the father got hold of my PAN number? Because my PAN number is a privy to me. Unless you gave it to your father, he may not know your PAN number. Your Aadhaar number he may not know. That's a confidential document. That means you are.
KYC documents father would be having. All the KYC documents would be.
That is what I am saying. KYC documents, we presume that all this is available even in our office. These are see, Aadhaar number is your confidential number. So you have to take a position saying that how he has to prove that how my father got my number. Clandestinely got. Otherwise the case will not survive. If it is for the first year, at least there is a merit in the case. If it is happening in the 5th year, all 4 years he has kept quiet. He has to prove that he is not aware of the year 4 years.
Non-metro towns and cities, there are so many funny things. I know of a chartered accountant who has got 45-50 email IDs. Each email ID he uses for 4 clients. All the email IDs has come to the office. Then after 3 years he said, I forgot the email ID.
Sir, I think the tax audit there is a limit of 60 or 65. No? I have seen 600 cases under tax audit on audit side.
Yeah.
Sir, well, there was one, I don't know, the WhatsApp which came 4,145 audits or something was.
Possible.
It
I
bears the
think
same
he signed with
membership.
both the hands, I guess.
It comes in the same membership number.
He only signs. He only signs.
He only signs, does nothing else.
No, that's sir. This is a rampant practice, sir. You know how many young chartered accountants from Chennai who used to take a train to nearby places which 4 or 5 hours away in a tax audit season. sign left, right and center, some 40, if they are doing 20 here, 40 they will sign for somebody else. In the evening, take some 3,000-4,000 rupees per case, 1,20,000, walk off, come back.
TSC per audited TSC per company. MCA they are having one audited TSC. Income tax they are having one.
That is what I am saying, sir. That is, you are not supposed to know. There is again DSC renewal is a myth. Every time it is not a renewal. It's a new DSC is issued. There is no concept of renewal in DSC. That you have to be very, very clear. Right? So that is one. Second thing, you are not supposed to have different. If you are having different email ID, what is the purpose? That is what I am saying. This DSC with this particular identity is given to you first. Take and keep it in a record. Nobody can touch it. Let him have n number of DSCs. I don't care.
There was one case, I mean, just out of interest, I am looking for everybody. There was one case which I heard about 5-6 days back. I think it was on New Year's Day. One of my friends, a very young child account in a semi-urban area. He is a new fresh chartered accountant. He was assisting another chartered accountant of repute. It was a stock audit which was given by a public sector bank on a private limited company located in the registered office in a very small village. But they are a big company. They are doing about 400 crores turnover. Who had, let us say, X as a statutory director of the company. But that company was dealing with the bank, and there was another chartered accountant, a Y chartered accountant, who was doing the licensing work with the bank. You know what is the meaning of licensing work? They had applied for some renewal of 100 crores or 110 crores or something like that for that limit. And these people are asked to do stock audit, and they have gone and verified, the stocks which have been disclosed in the balance sheet. Whatever the statements, everything was found. They found one horrible fraud whereby this Y chartered account, who is not the statutory auditor appointed with ADT1, he has signed the balance sheet of the company.
That regular service.
No, so he has signed, he has certified, he has given the audit report, he has taken the UDIN, and he has colluded with the bank manager and got the loan. After that, revoked the UDIN. This revocation of UDIN has for 2 days is now only 2 days. When it was 60 days, he has finished the process and revoked the UDIN. And
I have seen this case.
And if you go to the MCA website, no balance sheet has been filed for 3 years. AOC4 has not been filed for 3 years.
This is quite rampant. This I have seen. See, this rural practice, if you go, there is a distinction between chartered accountant and auditor. That is again one big thing. Right, so what I am saying is, see, today we are in a regime where due to paucity of time or there is no quality of proper representation. So, boss, whether are you taking undue risk? See, risk is there anywhere in any profession. But whether the profile what we are doing is risk is worthwhile or not, pause for a moment, think, don't take undue risk. If something happens beyond that, we will face it. We are competent to face it.
Now that stock auditor have complained to the bank, and the bank has presumably already
asked him to file an FIR also. That is it. And because tomorrow if something happens, if FIR will guide him, even CBI comes to his place, I have already filed a complaint. Ask him to file an FIR.
The bank has already complained to the institute.
I know this.
Now he is getting threatening messages from the company saying that.
That is what I am saying. Let him file an
physical
FIR also.
violence and all that.
When you think it is forced, please file an FIR immediately. Yeah, thank you, friends. Right. Yes, ma'am. Anything you want to say? Right. Thanks for a very, very patient listening. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, G RAJAN sir, for the wonderful presentation. Your case-based approach to Code of Ethics was well received by our members. May I now request SARC Secretary, I am Paul Inauguration Arun, to formally propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. After this session, everyone knows out of 22 questions, he insists only one thing: we have to maintain a document for what we do. That is the major takeaway from this session. So especially in recent times, the quality of audit is going to be again for tax audit also, it is going to be reviewed in coming days. So that also is going to be trouble for us. So keep your records intact for before filing your returns. I think this is the takeaway. Thank you. So thank you, sir, for accepting your invitation to present a paper, because I heard that you are in when you was in Salem, all the case studies are very interesting and interactive. So that we want to have one session of you at SARC, sir. So my personal request, especially for rural branches. So we people are thought that many of the things we explain, no, that these things are in a practical. We thought that it is a practical, but without knowing that many rural CAs doing some mistakes towards this. So on behalf of SARC, and I request Vice Chairman also to have the sessions next year in all the branches, at least one session, this kind of case study basis. So instead of going behind that code of ethics sessions, so code of ethics session with these kind of case study based definitely make us understand better than studying verbatim of law. So thank you, and also thank all the attendees for this session. And I have tomorrow we have one session on Vaidyanatha Raya Memorial Lecture. In that we want to have how to bridge the gap between the age gap between the profession. That is the topic. This Pattabhiram sir is going to be handle that session. So after that, in 11th and 12th, we have a direct access national conference at MMA Hall. If those who are all the speakers are very rich, knowledgeable speakers, like Kapil Goyal, our own Bhanushekar sir, and Ramnath sir, and G Rajacharya. So I request you to, those who are all not registered, please attend that session. In that you can complete your 30% of CP requirement in that one session itself within the first quarter. So thank you all.
So thank you, Honorable, for your valuable time and presence. We will wind up today's program by the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मा